It's finally time to work on the truck again. I'm going to replace the radiator and flush the coolant today on the truck. Um, as you can see, the current radiator is all rusty and it's just not pretty. The hoses, these look like they're 10, 15 years old. So they're all gonna be replaced. I'll fill up the fresh coolant as well. So it should be a fun project. Okay guys, here are the parts. So I've got distilled water because you don't want any minerals in your cooling system. Here's some full strength antifreeze. I just went with Menards. It doesn't really matter to me that I used the Toyota brand or the more expensive stuff. I just mix 50-50. I've got a half empty coolant jar that I'm gonna use for measuring to make sure it's 50-50. I've got myself a funnel. I've got the upper radiator hose, lower radiator hose molded, so they'll go right on the truck. Some hose clamps for both the upper and the lower. Got the brand new radiator right here, looking nice. And you're obviously gonna need a big container to catch all the old fluid so you don't contaminate wherever you're working on your car. Oh, you notice this Jeep sign. My wife got this for me 2 years ago on my birthday. Very nice of her. I had a Jeep at the time that I was working on. It was a 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee that I was doing a lot of stuff with. I don't have it anymore. Transmission blew up, which is why I got a Toyota. All right guys, first step is obviously you want to drain whatever's in here and just make sure that the vehicle is not hot. You need to do this on a cold engine. Today is Sunday morning. I'm doing it first thing in the morning when everything's cold so I don't get burnt, and it's a pressurized system, so you don't want to be opening this while it's hot. As it says, do not open hot on the cap here. So follow directions, guys. Drain the coolant, take off the hose, upper hose and the lower hose, and we'll go from there. So here I am disconnecting the lower radiator hose. As you can see, I just got that off and the coolant is gushing out, and most of it is coming from the engine block. Only a little bit of it comes from the radiator, but yeah, you want to get rid of that coolant before you start doing some serious work, just so you don't make a big mess. Okay, hopefully you can see most of the coolant is coming out of the engine right now through the lower hose. The radiator is almost done draining, so I'm gonna start undoing the bolts for the radiator to start taking the radiator out of the truck. So next I'm going to just undo this hose that goes to the coolant reservoir. Get out of there. Nice. We'll set that aside. And so to remove the radiator, you need to remove that bolt right there. That bolt right there. Come on, focus. Come on. There we go. That one right there in the middle. There's another one down there. Come on, focus. Yeah, my phone's... There we go. That one. That one. That one. Same thing on the other side. So let's get to work on that. Another thing is, to remove the radiator out of the truck, you actually have to remove the fan shroud that's bolted onto the radiator. So the fan shroud bolts are down here. Another one down there. Same thing over here. Right here is one, and then down there is another one. So just remove the 4 bolts, loosen the fan shroud, the plastic piece right here, so then it's not attached to the radiator, and then I just got to undo the radiator bolts that connects the radiator to the truck. So there and there. And the bolts that connect the shroud to the radiator are 10 millimeter. And the radiator bolts that connect the radiator to the truck are 12 millimeter. This one's coming out so easy. Just twisting it by hand. It's another one. Set it aside. So after I remove the reservoir, you can see a whole big space opened up and the bolt is super easy to reach now. This is the one down there, that baby. So we're gonna get that out and remove the fan shroud.
Take one.
Okay, you come closer. It's my lovely wife behind the camera, making this a lot easier. So the fan shroud is officially off. You can turn the camera down. Fan shroud is off of the radiator, so now you can see we just got to replace this guy, and this is being held onto the frame down here. One bolt, another one down there, right where my hand is pointing. Same thing on the other side. So we're gonna use an air tool. It's gonna just zip it off. It's a lot faster. Out it comes. Okay. I see it down there. I'll get it later. I'll fish it out. Here. So it's almost coming off. Oops. I got smarter each time. I'm not losing bolts anymore. So the air tool didn't have enough torque to get the last bolt off. I'm using a bunch of extensions on my ratchet to do it manually. And I'm almost done getting the bolt out, and the radiator should be free for me to lift it out of the truck. So I used a bunch of extensions, as you can see. And I'm just trying to undo the last bolt. I'm lifting a little bit with my right hand to get the pressure off the bolt. And then I'll show you once the bolt is out. I'm using, okay, there we go, it's out. There it is, it's the last one, it's very rusty. Okay. There it is. Trying not to damage anything. Okay. Well, I guess you want to come out too, huh? There it is. 26-year-old radiator. This will be my go back a little bit. This will be my screenshot thumbnail. This is why we're doing this. Look at all the rust. Okay? It's a ticking time bomb. Go down on the fence, look at the blue. Yeah, it's bad. Look at all the broken fence too. All of that is disaster areas. It's not even worth rebuilding because the new one was only like 80 bucks. Alright, I'm just gonna set this down. It's completely empty. So now you have all this room to work and put in your new radiator. So look at all the fluid that came out. So what I'm gonna do next is I'll spend some time, some brake clean up the engine bay, clean up the frame that's exposed. I also have a power steering leak, so maybe it's a good time to diagnose that. Next step, I'm gonna reuse these clamps because I drove around for an hour. No stores carry radiator hose clamps this size, so I think I have to get these directly from Toyota next week. For now, I'm just gonna take these old ones off. It looks rusty, but it's still elastic. It works just fine. So just take them off like that. So learn from my mistake. I put this on before I put the clamps in. I had to take it back off. Put the clamps on first and then slide it in. Yeah. Another trick is, these guys are way too small. I use a vice grip and I just set the grip setting to be just right, like right here. And then you can just close it all the way after you slide it on, so it's super easy to adjust. All right, here you see I'm fighting with that lower radiator hose. That thing was hard to get back on, but eventually I did it. As you can see here, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. And I dropped the vice grip in the bin, but it's all good. And now I'm cleaning the fan shroud with a little soapy water, just to make it look nice before I put it back in the truck. I don't like my shit dirty, so I'm gonna clean it up if I get it out, and then put it back in nice and clean. So that's what's going on here. And now you see that I've got the coolant ready, 50-50 mixed between coolant and water. Fill it up, fill up the radiator. I mean, it's asking for 2.5 gallons according to the manual, but you never know how much came out. I didn't flush the system. I more or less drained the system, and I'm refilling it because I recently refilled the system. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's already pretty clean. So alright guys, this is the end of it. I've been running the truck in the last half an hour. Everything checks out good. No leaks. As you can see, dry as a bone down here. Brand new lower radiator hose. Oh, come on, phone, don't die on me. Almost done here. New radiator. New radiator, looking nice. New hose. Only complaint I have about this aftermarket radiator is they designed this thing that comes out to the side of the cap. It's at the wrong direction. I have to this hose has to go over the ledge here. I don't think that's ideal. It's almost hitting the hood when I close the hood, so it's not like really that big of a deal because it's not hitting the hood, but I'd rather have it routed to the side like the OEM one was, that you would just go out to the side. Like, how hard is that, you know? But you never know with these aftermarket companies. Anyway, cheers guys. I'm closing out. Have a great weekend. Bye.